We got LL Cool J. I'm just going to put the post up. And we got LL Cool J just about a couple of days ago. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome. It's me, Rolando G, aka Wonderman77, back at it again. Another commentary. I just saw LL Cool J's live chat with several fellow Afro Americans that he had on there. I think they were like just regular people he was talking to. Here's the thing, LL. I know that LL Cool J has never heard of SYSBM and Brothers Divesting, but LL, you have to understand there's a group of us Afro-American men that felt for George Floyd and what happened to him, but also we got to move on with our lives. And it's unfortunate what happened to George Floyd. It really is. My heart goes out to his family. About a day or so ago, I think they just had his funeral, and all the protests that have been going on, and some of the violent looters and all this stuff, and it's just really a whole bunch of chaos. And if you kick up dust, I know they always say that something will come about because of this, but to me, in my opinion, it just seems that that is the case in some cases. But I don't think it's that. I don't think it's quite that simple. I really don't think it is. And a lot of people try to think that it is, and it's not. And again, my heart goes out to George Floyd's family. His demise was just very unprecedented. And that evil ass Derek Chauvin really showed his ass. He really did. And he knew that his fellow police department was going to pretty much back him up. Internal Affairs is probably going to back him up, and we all know how Internal Affairs goes, because they hire their own people to do the investigation. They don't get an outside source to do it, as far as we know. And LL Cool J, I can understand that he was very hyped up. He needs to calm down, LL. Mr. James Todd Smith, you are soon to be 50. I've been following your career. You've been one of my favorite MCs from back in the days and even into the mid 90s when I started liking LL when he was a little bit more in like the mid 90s, I think. His old school 80s shtick was okay, but for those of y'all that knew him from the original days when I was born and as a kid, when he was, more of a young guy, but as he started to become an older middle 20-something to late 20-something to early mid 30-something man, that's when I thought his career was really, really on point. With Who Do You Love, the Mr. Smith album and all that. And after that, 2 years after that, A Phenomenon in 1997 with 4321 with DMX, Cannabis, and I think it was Master P, Silk the Shocker, and then we're on, I think on the remix. I don't want to get into that, but anyway, just looking over LL's catalog, just a little bit tidbit of his catalog. We know he's come out with almost 20 to 30 plus albums, and he truly is an icon. And now he's on the popular hit TV series, procedural, military police series called NCIS. Okay, he's on the NCIS Los Angeles with Chris O'Donnell and those guys. But anyway, LL Cool J, man, he was going off, and I felt him in a way, but and he had I think he was talking to this one light-skinned heavyset sister. I don't know what her name was, but anyway, he was talking to her about the wealth, disparaging, the wealth, disparaging, and the classism that we go through as Afro Americans. And I feel that is true. That really is true. But I'm just gonna say you right now, in every culture, there's good and there's bad. And at this moment in time, the people that were rioting, or the individuals that were rioting, they were acting very savage. There's some people that don't get a pass. We have fellow Afro-American, just Negroes that are just straight savage, don't care. And I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to do a commentary on this, about the old ex-police chief that was actually killed, or he was knocked out, hit, something happened to this ex-police chief. And I think it was in St. Louis. I think it was in St. Louis, Missouri it happened. I have to correct myself on where it actually happened, in what city. This is during the riots. And you had Afro-American Negro, black Negro, African-American black kids just sitting around saying he dead cuz he dead, to the almost pretty much he was damn near passing away. But nobody would call the ambulance or 911 for this elder gentleman who was a former ex-police chief. Nobody called, and this is supposed to be your fellow Negroes. This is supposed to be your fellow black Americans. And they can't even but do something nice for the man and say, hey, we've got your back. Hey, we're calling the ambulance. We're calling paramedics. Medical help is on the way. These kids, these Negroes were all youngsters and looters. Some were bystanders looking on and saw what the situation was. And you got this one dude in the background, man, he dead, cuz. We can't do nothing for him, cuz, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, but I thought black Americans at least would have a little bit of passion, or these young black youth would have a little bit of more passion to pick that old man up or call 911, try to resuscitate him, try to at least resuscitate him. They couldn't even do that. They were too busy around being busybodies because they didn't know what to do. Because yet again, there's no fathers in the home. And that's where it starts off. Okay? Now, George Floyd called for his mother. Why did he not call for his father before his death? Do you see what I mean? Do you see where I'm getting at? A lot of you can't deal with the reality. A lot of you can't. This is where black America or Afro-American culture is at today. And some of us have to leave the degenerate ones alone. It's useless helping them out. It's useless. And then this has been going on for over what, 700, 800 years? Past the 400, 500 years that we were always saying about how us Afro-American Negroes have been disenfranchised. All the stuff back in the 50s and 60s and, during like segregation. Okay? And we want to take everything about slavery and what's been going on, and we always eternalize it. We need to stop doing that. LL Cool J, I understand why he's doing this. He's doing this because he wants to be heard, and I think it's also dealing with the fact that he is a popular person, and he's a popular Afro-American, so he wants to kind of get up in the conversation, and I understand that. But I just tired of always the narrative is negative and that we are always disenfranchised, we're always weak. This can't be always the narrative. I'm sorry. So LL Cool J, God bless you for your commentary and for your interview, Instagram Live with these other various group of fellow Afro-Americans. I can understand the conversation that you guys were having, but at the end of the day, people make their own choices, man, and we cannot. And if we can't separate this shit, because George Floyd, I'm gonna let it be known, he wasn't a perfect guy either. And there's more to this story of why this Derek Chauvin did what he did. I'm not even justifying it. Like I said, I want that Derek Chauvin to rot or go to the electric chair. Even if I don't even think they even gonna do that with him. Okay? Now he's up for second-degree manslaughter. Okay? Second-degree murder. I don't know if it's going to go to first degree or not. We hope it does. Yes, George Floyd, Mr. Floyd needs justice. Okay? And this could be the start of holding an officer like Derek Chauvin to his accountability of murdering an Afro-American man, but just an American in general. But mainly an African-American black man, because usually us so-called, so as far as we know, fellow Afro-American or fellow African-American black men fall at the death of the hands of a police officer. this is so. But at the same damn time, LL Cool J, you've came up. Now, what are you going to do about it, LL? Are you going to try to do a program where you're going to have to rehabilitate youngsters, these African American black youngsters? I mean, what are you black celebrities really going to do instead of just having the conversation? There needs to be action. That's all I'm saying with this. And LL Cool J, I'm glad you got this conversation started. We need to hear from all sides of the spectrum. But at the end of the day, people always make their choices. I'm just saying. And again, it's unfortunate that George Floyd had to go this way, and we have had to have another uprising, another AKA protest, another AKA people wilding out over this. But we have to understand the nature of things. This is the human life. Everything's not perfect in this life. And we hope for justice, and we hope for people for change. But at the same damn time, we got to keep it moving. And we also got to think about ourselves and our own families. That's all I have to say. This is my commentary on LL Cool J's, getting the conversation going with this Instagram Live. If you look at, shout out to the Relationship Rehab, Brian, and shout out to Tommy Sotomayor as well in Soto Nation. But all right, this is Rolando G, aka Wonder Man 77. I'll be back with another commentary. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. I'm out.